It is always a pleasure and feel to visit Zagreb because my first relationship in Europe, if you ask me, that is Zagreb. Because my good old friend, Professor Vilko Zeliak, he was the reason for my attraction towards Zagreb because of his deep research and the affectionate behavior, which I cannot forget. And after accepting my request, Professor Vilko and Professor Claudio, both of them visited India once for a print award almost 10, 12 years ago. So all these are memory. I I just want to take you. I just got a photograph from Ivana just to get the feel of the audience. And my very, very good morning, Dobardan, to all of you. This is what I can do from here. Some of my memories with you all almost, I think it was, I just took this 12 years ago uh, when we had a program with the Croatian Chamber of Commerce, when Mr. Raiko was with the Croatian Chamber of Commerce. We had a wonderful session there. All of us have grown. Many of my friends have become uh, little old also, I can see. This is what is one memory I always carry with me, which the designer of this currency, my friend Vilko, who signed it and gave it to me, and I still, it's in my purse. I kept it. And why I want to show this, you may think maybe in a year's time or a couple of years, you will also transform to euro. So this will go back to sometimes memory, but it will never be a memory. It will be a part of my life. And when this happens, my friend was telling, I am very sad. It should not happen because the one who designed the currency should know the real value of it. Anyway, it will continue. These are all just my memories. Just want to show you. This was some of that small glimpses of 2012 visit. After that also I visited, and this was in the Croatian Chamber of Commerce. We had a program. My friend Damir must have, he was so young that time, even Claudio, I can see all these people. Time just flies. Just a memory. Don't think that why this person is talking something non-technical in a technical session, because end of the day we are all human beings. So some feelings sharing is a part of life. Let me straight away get into my topic in discussion. Today I will be strictly focusing from the Indian perspective just to get you some idea of what is happening here, especially during this COVID time, what it happened. We have some very interesting trends which is going on in the industry. In this month, just April, 2022 April, the GST collection, the complete gross sales tax collection of 1 month has become the highest in this country till today. Last month, the GST collection alone was 23 billion US dollars for government of India. It's last year, April in 2021, what we had and today, it's almost 3.89 billion US dollar more than what it was in the last year. Why I want to show this is just to share with you, economy is getting strengthened now. It is progressing. So there is a saying in a developing country like ours, when economy is growing in this way, print industry will almost grow double the size. So suppose the economy is growing something like 7%, then the print industry can easily grow at least 14%. So this is a good sign. This is what it is, what I was trying to tell you. Last month, it was 23 billion, 3.8 billion US dollar more than what it was last year. International Monetary Fund, they predict on an average 8.2% growth GDP this year. USA could be 3.7, China 4.4, and Russia at minus 8.5. This is the projected figures on 19th of April 2022. So this again shows some good positive signs. And in financial year 2024, GDP projected to grow almost 6.9%. And another best part happened in 1 year was we touched almost 640 billion US dollar foreign reserve, but because of some inflation now, 640 has gone down to 600 billion dollar as of today. So 600 billion US dollar foreign reserve is a very safe measure what the government could do now. So altogether, the economic situation is fine, even though Corona infected a lot and affected a lot. But now almost all herd immunity has come. Everybody, I think that life has come back to normal. So almost all have taken 2 vaccinations, some of them booster dose. Like me, I have taken a booster dose also. So now situation is much better. So I hope it will go like this and we will have a good time. The startups, this is what decides a country's progress. So if you look at startups, we were very poor in 10 years ago or even 5 years ago where we were. 10 years ago, we were nowhere. But in 21-22, Economic Times survey, which says almost 14,000 new startups have come. It means a lot of new job creations, new system starting here. It's a good sign. Let me also share with you exactly what is happening here in India. Now the middle class is rising. And since the middle class is rising, effect of COVID, organized retail growth is really going up. Exports are really increasing. That's why the foreign reserve is increasing. E-commerce has taken a boom like many other countries because of COVID. COVID helped all of us to make a wonderful growth in e-commerce. And in packaging industry alone, if you take from 2017 onwards, I think India has become the 5th largest packaging industry. By 2025, our middle class would be 41%. That's almost half, 583 million people will be in the middle class. This gives a lot of opportunity in packaging and printing. Retail industry is really growing, and by 2025 it is expected to touch 1.3 trillion US dollar, because as of now the projection is maybe by 2028 and by 2030 economy will touch 5 trillion or 5.5 trillion. That's a possibility, out of which 1.3 trillion is from retail industry. When retail grows, print and package has to. E-commerce business will touch US dollar 99 billion by 2024. So compound annual growth rate is almost 27%. So figures are wonderful. Now let me tell you something about what way packaging industry has to go ahead, what we have to do. If you, since the denominator is very high, the number of population is very high, the average per capita packaging consumption, if you take it, is still very low, 10.5 kg only. But imagine it is almost 1.3 billion people. That's the reason. So 1.3 into 10.5 is the average consumption. In China, it is 45. In Europe, it is US, it is 109, and Europe on an average it is 65 kg. So we have tremendous growth prospects, possibilities in the packaging industry. China has become world's #1 packaging consumer with 207 billion in 2018 itself. US 173, Japan 48.5 billion. So next 5 years, India will touch on an average by 24. So this is a calculation from 2019. By 2024, we will touch almost 40.1 billion. It's a wonderful number and wonderful prospects for print and packaging industry. So there is an opportunity lying for packaging in India. Because a lot of unorganized sector, that's the largest opportunity in India. When something is not organized, you have an option to organize it and make the business out of it. All large companies, main multinational, almost all of them have come here. And there is an organized segment where all the top companies are functioning. That is another area. And like many other countries here also, flexible packaging is the fastest growing and the largest segment. I have some numbers which I will show you after this. This will be a quick go through in this presentation, and maybe this PowerPoint I shall share with the organizer. Tiskarstvo organizers can share this with you, because since it is number, talking everything in this way may be boring. It may not work out. So you can go through that later, because I try to verify almost all the data for the veracity of the content. So 2019, it is 50.5 billion and expected to touch almost 204. It's a huge jump by 2025 altogether, for a compound annual growth rate of 26.7%. This is what in 5 years, which is expected. Reasons are population increasing, income levels, changing lifestyle, media penetration through internet and television, and the growth of economy. Lot of innovations in branding and packaging is happening. We have pure Indian brands like Amul, Mother Dairy, Patanjali, ID Fresh. You can see a coconut picture on the left side. So a grated coconut is packed in the coconut shell itself. And it created a lot of enthusiasm among customers, and people started buying it, and they get a feel like you're buying a coconut as it is. So these kind of new trends are coming up. Very, very natural kind of packaging. Then food is the leader in packaging industry like anywhere, because packed food is growing than ever, because quality, safety, shelf life, all these are very important, and then everybody want to depend upon a safe package. Reasons are per capita income is increasing, urbanization is going on, a lot of working women. It all happened in the last 10 years. Otherwise, women employment were very less. Now it is almost 50-50 wherever you see. Everywhere women are also coming up. It all, see what happened in Europe maybe 50 years ago. It's happening now, but very, very fast it is taking up now. Some of the trends in the business segment, every business is making a big growth. Like as a Reliance Group, Ambani, one of the richest groups in the Asia, also one among the world, I think 5th or 4th in the world. One more. So a lot of, I think number of billionaires are also increased, overtaking many other countries, could be 3rd or 4th in the world. So they are running huge industries. All these are in need of, the subset requirement is a print and packaging. So it's very, very promising in that way. Some of the very famous brands which are very, very active in packaging industry are given here. Some of them are international and some of them are pure Indian. For example, Tata, Reliance, ITC, Hindustan Unilever, Adani, Aditya Birla Group. All these brands are pure Indian brands, but very, very strong players like Dr. Reddy in pharma. It's all giving pharma industry is giving huge prospects for print and packaging industry now. Grocery market was very traditional before, but this something like a traditional shop years ago, what you see here, now that has moved many other players like Reliance, JioMart, Big Basket, Grofers, Swiggy, Amazon, Zomato. They're all very, very strong in this area. Because out of packaging, if you look at the accounting, the grocery market takes almost 60%. What is the growth forecast for Indian online grocery market from 2019 to 2024 is from 1.9 billion to 18.2 billion. It's an unbelievable jumping which is happening now with a CAGR of compound annual growth rate of 57%. And this projected in 19 and sitting in 22, I can see this is almost happened in the same way. So I hope the projection will exactly materialize by 2024. Some of the leading print packaging companies in India, like Parks and Packaging, they have been already invested in HP Indigo 30,000 digital press, B2 format, 2030 size. Piramal Glass announced almost 35 million investment now. I think that investment is going on. Blackstone invested 310 million for SL Pro Pack. So it's a number one lamitude producer in this country. These are all some notable investments happened in last 1 year. I may not read all this, but I just want to introduce you some of the major converters from the packaging industry in this country, starting from Uflex. So it's a huge company, Uflex. Their sales comes something like a 10 billion US dollar. It's a very, very big company. Then SL Propack, it has, you see the difference between Uflex and SL. This is 0.39 billion US dollar, but Uflex is almost 10 billion. And there are, these are all major companies, and some of them, their sales figure is not available. And as big as them, another big printers and packaging people are there, like Pragati, IPP, Janus Packaging, Kumar Labels, Positive Packaging, Sai Packaging, Ajanta, Multivista, Award Offset. They're all big players, but their number was not available. But I just put all these details. These are the major packaging players in this country. These are all major industries in packaging segments. It's just a figure from 19 to 20. Their revenue is also given. SL Propack 2019 it was 393 US dollar in million and 406 million US dollar. Uflex is huge, 1094 in 19 and 20, 1062, little less Uflex. And rest are all much lower than them, but their average turnover is wonderful, which you can have a look. What are the key segments we should watch for packaging? When it comes to foods, packaging end-use market in India basically focus on processed fruits, vegetables, processed fish and meat, convenient snack foods, milk and dairy products, biscuits, tea and coffee, and other foods. And chemical industry, pharmaceuticals, personal care, household products, paints, varnishes, pesticides, lubricants, and other non-foods. And beverages, all carbonated soft drinks, bottled water, and other non-alcoholic beverages and alcoholic beverages. These are the major segments. Consumer packaging market share by segment wise, I can tell you, flexible packaging takes 30.5%, rigid plastics 20.7%, carton board 21.7%, caps, closures, lamy tubes, others 13.8%, glass bottles 7.7, metal cans 5.6. This is the percentage-wise distribution. Flexible packaging market share is 22%. In all these slides, I have given who are the major players and other different areas like FIBC, polymer films. It is separately given, so I will not read and waste my time. You can go through that. But these details I have taken from Global M&A Partner. They have a research study. From that research report, I have taken this. So this include plastic and paper and foil. Same way, rigid packaging, major players, and who are the other segment people. This is consumer packaging, 17%, and market share. Then caps, closures, labels, label stocks, and stickers, 23%. And this is the rough small. I made a small graph for the paper industry, 18 million tons. And by 26-27, I just referred today morning because I want to give you what is the latest predictions, because this presentation I prepared a year ago. So I had to update few things. So they told me, for the paper industry people, it is expected to grow 30 million tons by 26-27. So writing paper, printing paper, paper board, specialty paper, newsprint, coated, tertiary packaging, consumer craft, all segments. What is that percentage each takes, which is given in this slide, which you can go through later. Indian leading paper producers like Ballarpur Industries, then ITC, TNPL, JKPL, Century Pulp, Imami. Their capacity in tons is very huge. Ballarpur is the largest paper manufacturer here. 856,000 tons they can produce. ITC is 742,000. So that's the way they produce. Major companies I have just listed here. क्या हो गया? Indian carton board market, which carton board is, you all know, classified as something like a virgin pulp. Projection for 23-24 is carton board usage 4.26 million, carton board usage 2.9, printed folded carton 750,000 tons. क्यों नहीं जाता है? Carton board usage by end use 18-19. This I had only 18-19 figure with me. So, sorry. It's okay. Printed folder carton, books and notes, paper cups, liquid cups. These are all just numbers and figures. There is not much to talk. Financial year 20 estimated market size of folding carton industry, that was 2.8 million, which touched. Now by financial year 24, it is predicted to be reaching 3.25 million tons. This is pharmaceutical, food, home and personal care, apparels, liquor, QSR, tobacco, and others. All these are a part. So here you will see pharma is really going to grow. From 27, it will grow to 32%. Corrugated cartons growth outlook. Its demand is expected to grow in the coming time. Industry will witness a lot of consolidation, which is happening. Things are getting automated much more. Brand owners are asking for high quality boxes now. Large automatic lines are coming up. Forward integration is happening. So these are the reasons why this industry will grow. Estimated market size of corrugated carton industry, again another figure, from 6 million to 8 million tons by 24. This is market segmentation, folding carton. This is actually classified into A, B, C, D, E. I just try to make a based on the capacity of companies. Like if a company can produce up to 50,000 metric tons per year, there are maximum 4 players. And between 5,000 to 10,000, maximum 20 players. It could be less also. So 3,000 to 5,000, 250 maximum. I took the highest number. It could be less. It need not necessarily be the exact number what I have shown. So remaining this way, 1,000 to 3,500 and 1,000 is the next one. Same way, market segmentation, India Corrugation Board, number of players based on metric ton per year, ABCD is given. You can go through that after the program. Leading global converters who are active in India is Edelman, Germany, very active in India, folding carton. Essentra, UK is very active. OGI Packaging, Japan. OGI is very active. Amcor Flexibles, Constantia, Hutamaki. Hutamaki is very, very active now. Soothe Packaging. These are all major global players, 7 companies. And the remaining are pure Indian companies. I just listed 10 folding carton converters and corrugated converters with their turnover, what is investment, everything. Estimated market size of flexible packaging laminates by 24 could be 2.9 million tons as per the projection. Various segments and its percentage is given in the pie chart. Estimated market size of flexible laminates, volume by in metric tons. 24, it is expected to reach 2.48 million tons. And its value could be 13 billion US dollar only for flexible laminates. Impact on Indian paper industry segment wise, post-COVID, now it had an impact, but it is coming back now. I just talked to a paper manufacturer today. He told we are getting into near normal now. Packaging boards will be in good shape. Volumes year will be 90% of the normal demand. So by another 1 year, all will be back. Newsprint consumption is down by 4 to 5%, which they are not sure when they can get back. Impact on paper consumption. Demand of paper and paperboard in India, which is already, I told you, growth is 4.7%. Packaging and allied segment will consume more than 50%. 14% newsprint, then other 6%, packaging, the remaining one. Impact on paper consumption. Again, the same thing put in the table format. What is the decline happened in 19 to 21? Real decline is in almost 10 to 12% in the COVID time it happened, but now they are all back. This is impact on consumable chemistry. This, I spoke to the leading company here called Technova. So they suggested what is the change in chemistry, but in this year, they expect everything to be back. Impact on printing machine sales. Heidelberg last year, I think 1920 sold 15 machines, KBA 4, Komori 24, RMGT 5, Manroland nothing. And it's almost equivalent amount in million euros it's given. And multiply this with almost 8. That is the pre-owned second-hand machine sales in the market. That record I don't have, but normally 1:8 is the ratio. When one brand new machine comes, almost 8 second-hand machine sells in the market. Packaging printing machines, landscape, something like this. Major players in labels and shrink sleeves, Gallus, Neil Peter, Markandy, all these people. Folding carton, Heidelberg, Roland, KVA, Komori, Ryobi. Folding carton, Gravier, Web, Bobst, Camborne. Corrugated, Bobst, Emba, Wiley, one China company, they are all the major players. Packaging print machine, landscape, which is given flexible gravure, plastic tubes, letterpress, specialty, who are all the major players. These are all for people who have an academic interest who can just go through and understand. Packaging, printing machine, landscape, again, which is given in this slide. Overall assumption is maximum impact of COVID pandemic in India is on the commercial printing, where many small and medium printers used to survive. They very, very difficult because major players are in this segment. They had a tough time. But when I asked with all packaging printers, most of the leading packaging printers had 120% work order, which they were not able to implement. So they had no issue. So return on this segment is difficult in current India situation due to government digitization overdrive and environmental protectionism. So I'm little doubtful in this segment. Maximum hit for the COVID as per the paper supply chain is 15%, while most of this are from commercial. Plate chemistry is hit by 25%. Irrespective of COVID, all packaging players played a big role. Some of the global trends which are applicable in India: redefined sustainability, e-commerce demand, shifting consumer preferences, fast-moving cost pressures, and more regional supply needs, speedier digitization value chain, importance of health hygiene and product protection. All these issues are applicable in this country also, and which are taken seriously by the government, and I believe this will have a major impact in the coming years. Now the question is, what shall we take a note of it from an Indian perspective? And as a trainer and a teacher, I think industry upskilling, lot of scope in this country, lot of automation opportunity, and every brand is seeking some kind of innovation. And global manufacturing base is moving, maybe because of the global scenario, what is happening in Russia or China or other countries. Some movement is happening to India. And keeping this in mind, our government came up with a title called Atmanirbhar Bharat. Its meaning is how to become self-reliant as much as possible. So this movement also helping a lot. My feeling is when you look the modern themes in the coming time, we have to look, number one, automation. Lot of application of industry 4.0. It's already there, which is coming up now with all the major players. Countries like Japan has already moved to society 5.0, focusing more into the society. So artificial intelligence, machine language, robotics, big data, all these are going to play a big role in printing industry also. We cannot keep aloof ourselves. Digitalization, digital printing. We were thinking it is happening only in the top end, but it is happening in lower end and middle end also. Even in carton, value addition, everywhere digital is taking up. Factory mode from production setup followed. I mean, larger factories, automated lines, less labor, because in the COVID period taught every major industry people, depending on labor will not work out. And they are also moving into automation. Quality specification is the next focus. Like everywhere, here also it is focusing a lot. This is taken as the theme number 4. And as predicted everywhere, even Drupa will be focusing more into this circular economy and sustainability. Europe has taken the lead and the whole world is following it now. So everyone is feeling the heat. So there will be substantial effort to make the print also much more greener. Even though we don't pollute like other industries, we may have to focus much more into this. Then ethics and social values. So otherwise you won't be able to survive it. All regulatory compliances are getting tighter day by day if you want to play in the international market. So everybody is bothered about it. Social equality is the order of the day. So ethics and social values are highlighting and trying to implement everywhere in print industry also. I just made a quick go through of our industry, what is happening in India, and nothing more to speak now. I just want to, Lala, I just want to thank you, Dhanyavad, to everybody for patiently listening me. Thank you so much.
Dear Professor Anayatha, thank you very much for your great presentation, and I would like to ask, does anyone have a question now? Okay, I will ask one question for you. As India has become the third largest startup ecosystem in the world after US and China, with 14,000 in 2021 and this year, with rapid growth of exports and innovations in branding and packaging, also with automatization, what you said. What do you suggest for our students and young researchers? Which kind of cooperation with startups, and what do you think that will be future for young people in design and printing industry? I'm sorry, I think you are muted. Okay.
My audio was mute. I'm sorry. So my personal conviction is pre-press will vanish. This is what I was trying to tell even before, because every machine has become so intelligent. It can directly take the data from the cloud and work itself. So unless and until we focus more into artificial intelligence, digital twin, virtual reality, all these fields, augmented reality, I don't think we have no future. So our design related students should also focus more into this. Because we have an opportunity for better decisions now. All these days, we were dependent on a human, an intelligent person to tell us exactly what will happen, how to predict. Now that is gone. There is no meaning for any individual person. At some point of time in the history of research, you must have seen one single scientist has developed everything. The biggest example is our great Tesla, Nikola Tesla, who has a lot to do with Croatia too, which I know. But now probably in the coming time, you may not see a single scientist like that, because all the inventions will be done by a group of people with the help of lot of analytical systems. So I think in our syllabus also, in the teaching, entire teaching learning process, we may have to bring more AI-based applications, more big data analytics, which will help us to take the right decision. I'll tell you a small example, like I'm sure you must have read the book written by Yuval Noah Harari, the professor from Israel, on 21 lessons for the 21st century, in which he clearly predicts 2-3 changes which are applicable to our industry too. He says there is no point in talking about democracy the way what we talk today, because a sheer number has no meaning. My own decision is not my decision. All these years, it was not possible to touch inside my skin, but today it is possible. In the sense, all these social media platforms, which our design students should really think of it, like it knows much more than what you know about yourself. My specializations, my interests are decided by these people immediately. Now, if I go to my Facebook or my Twitter or any other social media platform, I'm sure the first thing what I will see will be cheap tickets to Zagreb, because I was looking for something in Zagreb. So they know it. I am an interested person to travel to Zagreb. So he is telling one of his experiences. It must be very interesting for design students. Professor Harari happened to be a gay. So when he was watching an advertisement for soft drinks, when he watched the Coke ad, the Coke ad came with a gay couple, and the Pepsi ad came in the traditional, a beautiful girl and a handsome boy together displaying the ad. And he had a look on both. And next, after a couple of days, he visited a shopping mall nearby his home. He didn't have a plan to buy soft drinks, but he saw a beautiful Coke bottles kept on the top of the rack. So you can imagine he was not in need, but he put a couple of Coke bottles and put it in his basket. Reason being, his decision was already influenced few days ago through an ad. So this is the way, and every individual preference is known to the social media platform. So we as designers may have to understand all these things and study it. Same way AI will really change the way how we look at a world in the coming time. All AI-based cars have already come. Tesla has already come up. So maybe after another 5 years or 10 years, probably we may not be allowed to drive a human-driven car in Zagreb city or in Delhi city because they don't want it. If you want to take car by yourself, probably you may have to pay a higher tax. Otherwise, it has to be done by an AI-driven car. So there are some typical situations which we have to face. Just imagine an AI-driven car is taken. You are sitting behind. Maybe a person like me is sitting behind. Suddenly, a group of kids jumped in front of my car. My car has to take a decision within a fraction of a second whether my AI-driven system should hit the kids or turn to left or right, hit on the wall or tumble into the valley and kill the owner, I myself. So maybe at an instant, my system will decide this professor is old. Why should I save him? I should save these kids who are in front of me. They are at the age of 13, 14. They have more things to do, and my own car may kill me. So you need to program ethical values in an AI system. So designers have to think all these things in the coming time. So focus should be from these points, I believe, so that you will be very, very successful as a designer in the coming time.
Thank you so much for your answer, and it is very interesting. I hope this at the end won't happen with your car. But thank you also for mentioning Professor Harari and his books. I have 3 or 4 his books, starting with this Sapiens, Brief History of Humankind. But yeah, it's very interesting, and I totally agree that design thinking model, programming, individualization, also developing of intelligent models in printing industry are our future. So also interdisciplinary thinking. So thank you so much for all your time. I know that your schedule is completely full, like yesterday and then day before yesterday. So thank you so much. Once again, thank you all for listening. Ima li još pitanja možda kakvih, da ne ponavljam na engleskom? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. My regards to Professor Wilco. Convey my regards to Professor Wilco. Thank you.
Yes, I will give you.